Brodes Media.
When you wake up on a Monday morning, okay, we know that the Phillies just played a 3 or 4 game series over the weekend. That's probably something we'll grab onto. But I didn't think before I even have a sip of my coffee, before I even get to wash my face with water and soap and wake up for the week, I have to deal with the potential Joel Embiid wants out of here rumor. And it just pisses me off. I don't like the way Joel Embiid handled things. I don't think that he's taking responsibility the way that he needs to, and I think it's foolish. Now, Joel is a very, very sharp mind. I think it's very methodical what he's doing. He's been here for a while. He knows how we grab onto things. He understands the sports scene. So for him to take it to Twitter afterwards and pretend it was a troll job, it upsets me. I think he's trying to pour water on it, and he's trying to tread lightly, and I guess maybe he thinks it spiraled way too far out of control. But that would stun me because he absolutely has seen it a billion other times with a billion other athletes and even his own teammate. Whether Ben Simmons himself was throwing around crap or Rich Paul or Clutch Sports or anyone during the time of Ben's tenure here, it was dissected every which way. So that's why I can't buy the fact that, oh, he thought it wasn't going to be anything monstrous and he didn't think that we would care too much. I don't understand that side of it because Joel is super intelligent. I'm upset. I don't hate Joel. I don't think we need to get rid of Joel Embiid. Time's running out. And that's inevitable at this rate, if you don't win a title, of course. But he needs to self-reflect. He sucked in Game 7. He no-showed in Game 7, while Jason Tatum, who blew basically all series, decided to show up at the very tail end of Game 6, and then he was there on his own floor to bring that team to the Eastern Conference Finals. Where was Joel demanding the basketball from James Harden at the end of Game 6? Sure, there were wide-open looks for DeAnthony Melton, and other teammates did have some shots that an NBA player should knock down. At the end of the day, this is the NBA postseason. You are the top dog. You are the MVP. You have to go win that basketball game, and he didn't put his fingerprints on it enough. So Joel has to take way more of the blame than it seems he is. That's what's frustrating. I'm not giving up on that level of talent, whether you like it or not. Just because he said some things that I don't agree with doesn't mean that I'm willing to set him free. But what does this mean, really? There's two things that this can mean. Is Joel Embiid using the media to put pressure on Daryl Morey? He did say that he uses the media, and he gave Tyrese Maxey as an example to try and get more out of him, to try and use it as leverage. So if he has openly admitted in the past and in that interview that that's something that he likes to do, I have to put it in the equation for this. So it's possible that this is all for Daryl Morey. I don't know why he needs to use it that way, because I would think that him and Daryl Morey have worked together long enough that he could just talk to him. This is unnecessary. There's no reason for you to use this to get to Daryl Morey. Sit down with them, chat it up, discuss. Go out to dinner, go to the office, however you want to incorporate the dialogue. But I would think that you could get to him and speak to him. And this should be done without needing a microphone in front of your face. What are we talking about here? You all have hunger. You all want to win. You want to compete for an NBA championship. This isn't breaking news. Sit down. You're on the same team. Go to Camden. Go to the Sixers facility. And talk about it. What's best? What can we do? We just brought in Nick Nurse, for God's sake. Let's not be silly. So I hate that. If that's why, if that was his plan, if that was the methodical approach, I think it's embarrassing. Quite frankly, I think it's stupid. If you need to utilize media coverage, then you're not as strong and you're not on the same page as much as you think you are. Franchises that know they're great and franchises that could smell the recipe and smell what's cooking, and you can all buy in and know that we're doing the right things here and we see what you see and we believe in one another, you don't have to utilize that tactic. So either it's just Joel going out of touch here, or there's bigger issues. So is he trying to put pressure on the front office, or is there truth to it? He sees that the James Harden relationship won't be fixed. At one point, maybe they thought it could. Maybe they thought that him and Daryl Morey are close with one another and they're ironing out all the details to try and run it back with the new head coach, asking Maxey to do more, asking Harden to play a different way. Whether he likes it or not, he'll see the game plan and buy into it. Maybe we're all living in la-la land to think that that was ever truly on the table. There were a lot of conflicting reports. Some sides say that it's not even close. Other sides say that there's more willingness out of James Harden in his camp to put on a Sixers uniform again and run this thing back. I don't think it's going to happen at this rate. I would love for it to. With everything laid out right now, what I have as option number one is James Harden returns, Nick Nurse tries to get creative, throw totally different looks at a team's direction, and just get creative with what you're working with here. There's some different things you could do that we haven't seen with this core under Doc Rivers, and I'm signing up for it because I think whether it's the best in the league or not, and I don't think it will be. I think it's best for the current state of the franchise to try to go as far as humanly possible. This does throw a wrench, though, in all of it because I'm confused and I'm disappointed. And for the first time outside of basketball, you're going to make and miss shots. That stuff happens. We can't control that. That's what happens in sports. You're going to have a wide open jumper, you're going to fall short. You're going to have a defensive play, you thought you took the charge, it gets called a block, you get screwed, you lose a basketball game. From that level, sports-wise, I've been disappointed in Joel Embiid before, but not like this. This is the first time, for me personally, I'm experiencing it to more of a personal level. I don't despise the guy. I still have feelings for him, and just as a sports fan, and I still feel connected to him, and I still do believe in his ability to score, his ability to defend, which sometimes just gets thrown out the window and nobody gives it enough love. Tyrese Maxey gets exposed defensively. James Harden gets exposed defensively. His rim protection is massive, and for Nick Nurse to have that in the holster, I'm thrilled to see what that's all about. If he happens to be here with Nick Nurse and tied at the hip for a longer period of time than we envisioned maybe a few weeks back. It's crazy how much things change. And I wonder if Joel Embiid is looking around the league and seeing it's time for Damian Lillard. And maybe that's the eye-opening experience. It might have to take me begging my way out of town or demanding myself out of town. I don't want to be like Damian Lillard, stuck in Portland.